Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Glowing Cabbage here. I'm back for another video. This video is going to feature some of my counterculture books that I promised to show Tony, Mr. Fartboard 79. So I hope everybody enjoys books, because I also collect books. I'm sure that a lot of people in the vinyl community collect books, but yeah, it's been something that I've done probably longer than collecting records. I've had books. So I don't have these in any particular order, just kind of grab them. Didn't do any research on them and stuff like that. I've read most of them, but some of them I haven't. I still have lots of books that I haven't read, but I think that's also a common thing. Okay, so this guy, excuse me, this guy, his name's Richard Brodigan, and Richard Brodigan was a late beat writer kind of thing. I don't think he really liked the classification of being a beat writer, but he pretty much was. He had really avant-garde styles of writing novels. He was also, well, primarily he was a poet, and this is one of his late books, posthumous, like written after he passed away. It's called The Unfortunate Woman by Richard Brodigan. Nice little picture. That's what Richard Brodigan looked like. He unfortunately committed suicide at his ranch, I believe in California. I'm not certain, but he's got a really dark but creative way of writing. If a lot of people don't know about Richard Brodigan, I highly recommend you check him out, because if you want to go on a little bit of a reading adventure, check out Richard Brodigan. I don't mean in a science fiction way. Well, some of his stuff is quite science fiction, actually. He's got many other really famous books. The Pill versus the Spring Hill Mine Disaster. I think I have that one in here, actually. But his most famous book would be Trout Fishing in America. That sold most copies, I'm sure. Then there's another one called The Sombrero Fallout, which is about a sombrero that shows up in this old western town, and it's what people think it means. You know, it's really metaphysical. He's kind of a metaphysical writer. But yeah, this is a great novel. This one was obviously found after he passed away. It's called An Unfortunate Woman. It's on St. Martin's Griffin, based in New York City. Yeah, really neat stuff. Of course, there is the father, or the grandfather of the Beat generation. Actually, I would harbor to say that William S. Burroughs was one of the most influential writers of the Beat generation. He influenced this guy, Jack Kerouac. Burroughs would borrow, or would allow Kerouac to borrow books from him, and this is called Desolation Angels. I think it's one of his later books, but this is when his photograph was taken by Allen Ginsberg, I do believe, and it shows him out on the terrace in New York City, smoking a cigarette with his Railman Brakeman book in his pocket, because that was what he was doing at the time. He couldn't make money writing, so there's the back. And this one here is on Riverhead Books. This is probably one of my favorite beat writers that was a poet, and this book here though is all over the place. It's Lawrence Ferlinghetti, Routines, really wonderful illustration on the front. See, I like books equally for their illustrations on the front as I do like records. So this is on the famous and hard to kind of find here anyways in New Brunswick, the New Directions paper book. So this is by Lawrence Ferlinghetti, written in 1963, I believe. But it's got other illustrations that are really fantastic. I mean, it's a little macabre, but still, it's really neat stuff. I'll show you one more, if there is one more. Oh, look at that! I have some of my poetry written in here. That's funny. I'll have to read that later. That's a pleasant surprise. You don't often get that, right? You know. All right. So, and look at the price of this. Actually, back in the day, $1.35. That's it. $1.35. Another book by Kerouac. This is, I think, one of his only. He might have one or two other poetry books, but this is Mexico City Blues. Yeah, really great stuff on the Grove Press. So there's all written as choruses.